you got to experience the festival with the guests because your work was finished. So, how was the experience?
Um, when when the whole idea started shaping up in my mind, I always said that I was curious, extremely curious to see what this experiment will deliver at the end. The reason is because of the place where I am now in my life, in my journey, my spiritual journey, and in my visionary journey as well. And is the moment where you surrender yourself to the law of the universe, to the unknown, and you let yourself to be guided on what you have to do, and you understand that there is no such a thing like the ego or the me that is at stake. What is at stake is for you is knowledge and the ability, you know, to allow yourself to open the Truman Show door and find out that outside of there, you know, there is a multidimensional realm of knowledge that is always been there, and we have the possibility to explore it, to expand and get out from the cage in which you know, we are constrained in some sort of conventional cliche that they ended up looping our life day after day, experience after experience, and putting ourselves in the condition that most of us, they ended up life, you know, without understanding the meaning of it. This was not the idea to create a music festival. There is more than 5 million music festivals every year, and actually none of us has invented the concept, you know, has been here with us since the beginning of time. What is different is the difference on the past, the way how they were celebrating music. It was to acquire and allow themselves, you know, to connect with the mystery of the universe, with the Akashic field, and understand the real truth about our existence, and using that opportunity to clear up the weight of the suffering and regenerate themselves, you know, to continue life throughout the challenges that they are taking place there. So the idea was not I think that we are living in a moment of time where it's very important to allow people to experience a soul expanding moments, because it's a little bit like when you go to a restaurant. You don't need really to tell to the people. You just have to offer them the opportunity to eat that exceptional food that is different from all the other food. And by themselves, they will understand, oh, now I know which one is a better food, you know? And so it's not about only putting a bunch of DJ, a stage, and make it nice with... I've been doing this throughout all my life. But in the last 4 events that I did, has been, you know, the idea to merge together my spiritual knowledge together with the incredible knowledge that is owned by the indigenous people, that they've been the guardians over time of the real truth. Their spirituality was based on knowledge, not on faith. There is no such a thing like indoctrination. There is the right of every human being, you know, to find his own Buddha inside of himself, his own power. We are all God. We can all experience the beauty, you know, to live without fear for our life, without fear for what we can do. Buddha was used to say, the mind that perceives the limit is the only limit. And this is very true, is that we are not being educated to understand this. So, Ondalinda is not a music festival. It's not a cliche. I will never be available, you know, to design Ondalinda if that was the idea. But to give the opportunity to the people to move into the next level of the next playground, not the playground we've been knowing so far throughout all the festival, mass event, you know, where all these people, they gather. Don't take me wrong, extremely beautiful, some of them, extremely tempting. But if you want to really deliver something potent, something extremely precious, it's like, again, like a restaurant. You have to prepare the food for a limited number of people, otherwise it's impossible. But by showing the way, you know, many other acknowledged and advanced and awakened people, they can understand that this is the way how to expand the opportunity to deliver knowledge, spirituality throughout entertainment, something much more precious than just entertainment.
Well said. Let's talk about some of the specific design elements that you used. Maybe start with Friday night and kind of talk us through each individual piece and what it's.
Okay, Friday night is. In order to connect, you have to create the condition for the energy to open the portal that will allow you, you know, to ascend to those places. And in order to do this, I'm totally devoted to the concept of sacred geometry. All the sacred spots of this world, they've been designed on sacred geometry because they were the place where the people, they were making the cult of spirituality. From the Temple of Solomon to Angkor Wat to Stonehenge, name it, to the Vatican, they're all based on the sacred geometry. And this is designed, you know, to allow the flowing of energy, flowing free inside of the venue. And this is a vortex that ultimately deals with the vibration and resonance of each one of us. And even without knowing, we are transported automatically. We don't have to do nothing in order to elevate ourselves. It's like a lift that is going to bring you where you must be, you know, for understanding, okay? And so I designed this great star with a laser in the polo field, with the idea to create really the center of the universe with the cosmos up there, and mirroring the stars with the 10,000 candle underneath. So it's a very sacred design, okay? And inside of this design, of course, we perform Akasha, which was a very intense experience as a ceremony itself, with the celebration of the four elements, north, south, east, west, starting with south, which represents the Pachamama, the most dense of all the elements, then the water, less dense, you go east, and then north, the fire, and then the air, and at the end, the space, the elevation, all the way into the Akashic field. So then we left it there for the night, for the people to go in the center of the universe and meditate and listen in the music and experience something that they never experienced before. The rest, the stage was backed by the Samadhi door that I designed last year, a very sacred object as well, you know, full of, I'm not going to go now along all the elements because otherwise we're never going to finish, of course. But all this reference, because we are a reacting being, we react to what we hear, we react to what we see, we react to what we touch. All this is knowledge. You feed the public, you know, with the right knowledge, and then they will be where you want them to be. You underestimate this part, and you're thinking, oh, how I can reach the attention of the world by doing this and this and that. No, it doesn't work like this. You have to listen. You have to surround yourself, you know, to a new kind of language that it doesn't come on word or in English or in any other language. It comes throughout vision. And the vision, we are not the one who masterize the vision. They are broadcasted from the infinity, okay? And so they are, you can trust them because it's not on the interest of somebody there that he wants you to do this, okay? So you can trust them fully. And you just allow yourself, you know, to, sometimes what I do, I not even know exactly how it will look at the end. I know that, you know, I have to do it, and I don't even know, you know, what is going to happen by doing this. And that's the curiosity I was talking about. Extreme curiosity to allow this experimental way to deal, you know, with the phenomenon, and the joy that we have been able, you know, to create so much happiness. The people, they were crying, people, they were hugging. Nobody was coming and say, oh, it was fantastic, it was beautiful, oh, what a beautiful installation or art or stuff like this. No, 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 no. Everybody was hugging and say thank you, you know, you changed my life, you know, something is been, and that's the beauty, because you understand, you know, that if you listen and you deliver, you know, the right things to the people, then you do something good for people, you know. It's not about only music and the stage. And then the night.
Hold that. Oh. I just want to change the camera frame 1 second. I think this is great.
Let's don't forget that there is only one kind of knowledge that is the real knowledge for us. And that is the knowledge that we acquire throughout experience that will leave us without any doubt about what we have been experiencing. Not the word, not the book, not the teachment, our personal experience that leave us without any doubt, okay? So, and this is the very moment where each one of us start waking up. Then, as we were saying before, then there is people that they open that door of the Matrix, or the door of the Truman Show. They see the infinity and they said, fuck infinity, you know, we don't need infinity, we don't want infinity, it's too much, I mean, it's too scary, you know, I have to surrender to the unknown. And they close the door, they go back to the cage, like the horse, they go back, you know, to the stable because they've been grown up in captivity. But there is so much to explore. If we remove this arrogance that we know them all, that we don't know shit about what is the immensity of what is surrounding our life and our existence. And there is so much to explore that can take us into amazing and unbelievable places. That it was worth it to actually close that door behind you and let yourself literally be driven into infinity. Yeah.
So after Friday night, then you also did the art direction for Saturday, which is kind of like it's the celebration of the sun, right?
It was a celebration of the sun. We had the Tonatiuh, which was representing the god of the sun for the Aztec tradition. And even there, the place, the Cabeza del Indio, is a very sacred place. It's placed in a beach called Teopa, which means the place where the gods going to rest, okay? And it's a sanctuary for the turtle. And actually the very same place used to be a graveyard, you know, in the past time. So it's a very powerful place to which I went there with a bunch of very close people. We did a beautiful ceremony to ask the permission to the place, you know, to deliver this, and ask, you know, to be guided on how the place is like to be dressed up for the occasion. And this element that they are belong to the pre-Hispanic and Mayan culture, the Tolteca, the Atlante de Tulas, the High Atlante de Tulas, which they were used to be the guardian of the Quetzalcoatl, which is the feather serpent of the Mayan tradition. And then we had the Pachamama, that represent our roots with the earth, with Maya. And then we had the Mayan warrior that, of course, but everything was designed against around the center with the golden ratio that was creating, you know, the very place where a simple object was placed. In the center we had this beautiful platform that worked for a part of the night, not for the entire night, because there was some Mexicanity there, and it became a little bit unstable, but it was designed, you know, to create a different elevage for the people, not to be forced that you always have the head of somebody in front of you, you know, to expand your view, you know, to be free, to enjoy, you know, every different angle. And then we had a sacred room with the Purepecha drawing and the UV light, where the people, they were going there and meditating. We had a beautiful representation of the Dias de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead of the Oaxaca tradition, okay? And then we had this beautiful little room with a big heart in fire, where the Indian, they've been performed in the course of the night, which was allowed the people, you know, from time to time, you know, to get some fresh, you know, inflows of good energy and keep the mood of all the people at the highest level.
So if you had to summarize, like, what your, I get the sense that you feel that your job for Ondalinda is more than just to design the set. Your job is more to facilitate a journey or a controlled experience for the guests.
I don't really know who invented the concept of job, because it's ridiculous. It's been invented for the purpose of slavery. A job is something that you do against your wishes for the purpose of money. And I don't know what I do, you know, for the purpose of money, and I don't do a job. And what I do it just for a mission, and because I'm deeply in love with what I do. And I think that when we deliver love, we don't have to ask ourselves any other question. I don't even consider, you know, whether or not this will be understood in full. I just wait and see. And then when I see that it did have been understood in full, then I can only be grateful, you know, for having the opportunity to learn how to surrender and let the things go, you know, and happening, you know, by magic. And then you deliver magic, love, beautiful emotion, beautiful sensation. You release the people from any stress and anything, you know, you make them, it's a medicine. It's a medicine. I want Ondalinda to be a medicine for the soul, for the people, for soul sailors, you know, that they get to that point in life that they understand that there is something more than materialism to explore.
So the guests, they come here. Well, actually, before we talk about that, let me ask you about Correas. Like, why is Correas a good spot for them?
Carayes is a place that has been, I came here 20 years ago for holidays. I kept coming here, Christmas holidays and Eastern holidays for more than 15 years, 12, 13 years, something like this. And then it was a call. I wanted to come and live here, despite, you know, this is an holiday place. And this has been the most odd, but also the most clever decision that I took in my life. Carayes is the center of a convergence of ultra powerful energies. Because nothing has been left to the case in Ondalinda. Not the setting, not the meanings, not the contribution of knowledge, nothing has been left, you know, not the music, everything. And of course the place. In front of you, you have the larger portion of water in the world. From land to land, there is more than 14,000 kilometers to go to the Philippines. On the back of you, you have the biosphere with the highest number of animal species in the world, okay? And then south, you have the volcano of Colima, that is the last volcano of the chain of 5 volcanoes that they connect the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. It's a 5,300 meter active volcano. And in the center, you have Carayes. So imagine this powerful energy of uncontaminated air, you know, that they are here, you know, allowed. That's also the reason why, you know, my Indian friends, you know, they love to be with me. It's a third time that I bring them here, you know, to celebrate and to deliver this, is because these people, they have an uncontaminated knowledge, and they know how to deal with uncontaminated energies. So it's all these things that they come together and they make this place like a real temple for restoring and reborn your soul. So, because I live here, I know the power of this place, and I think that there was no better place in the world, as long as I know so far, where to stage such a thing. All the power spots of this world, they're not being built occasionally in places. The Pyramid of Egypt, they've been built 750 kilometers away from where the stone comes. So it was all desert. Why you have to make this massive effort to bring the stone from 750 kilometers when you can build the pyramid right where the stone are? Why the Mayan, they will traveling with all this stone inside of the jungle to build Chichen Itza and so forward? Why? I mean, because it had to be that place, okay? A bunch of monks, they came from Tibet 22 years ago, and they've been perlustrating, you know, up and down the Costa Alegre. And when they came to Teopa, right where we have the camp, they said, if we had to build a monastery, we will build it here. So who has that knowledge knows very well, you know, whether there is right next to the Capesta dell'Indio, 100 meters on the left, there is a very place which is a very, very, very important portal of connectivity, where we went at the end of the night, a bunch of us, 10 of us, and we sit there in deep meditation. Is a temple, Carayes. Is a temple for the soul, for sure.
I think we've touched on everything that I wanted to talk about. Is there something else that you want to say that you think is important that you want people to know about?
I want to say that really this is not about me at all. I want the people to understand that they are dealing with the universe, and that brought me, Filippo, and Lulu together in a perfect combination with different kind of skills, you know, in order to make Ondalinda happen. Lulu, she's an extraordinary woman, and she's been working hard, and she definitely have the reputation and the credibility of the best crowd that they trust her, you know, because we didn't have, now we have a reputation, before we didn't. So all these people, they came because of her and because of the effort that she did with her PR network to make it happen. And Filippo is an amazing person that he had the courage to believe on this kind of weird project, and now, you know, is more understood. But on the beginning, you need to have the balls, you know, to let yourself go into it. And he did this, and he managed, you know, to bring the place and offer the place, you know, to do it, and looking after all this part that I'm not my knowledge, like the business part, the logistic part, which is very annoying, but he works so hard, and he deserves all the success that he's finally got it. Yeah, that's for sure.
Great. I think we got it.
Okay?
Thank you.
And I want to also address to all the people that they were here my deepest thank you for sharing this moment. I think that at the end we have all been in this beautiful Samadhian hug that make us understanding we are all one, and there is no such a thing like separation. We are not promoting separation here. We are promoting unity for the good of the humanity, to make a better world. Somebody said once, if you want to change the world, change the perception of it, and then you're going to have a better world. So all this concept of we're going to change the world, if we manage to make the people changing their perspective of the world, everything they will do as a consequence will feed, you know, the expansion of this concept, on which is going to take us, hopefully, in a much better world, in a much better existence for everybody, without poverty, without all these things, out from the monetary system, the convention, and this enslavement of the entire humanity.
That's a big goal. Ondalinda's
you know,
changed the world that much.
Again,
it's a worthy goal.
again, the mind perceives the limit is the only limit. There is no limit in what we can do, and the idea is not to think that you are going to change the world, but as long as you manage to do what you do best in your little, it's like the one who says, oh, I don't want to have the, you know, waste around me, and then he threw the bottle in another side, you know. If we start being the first, you know, instead to judge and complain and all these things, start doing things. And in order for this, you know, we have to be excited of something. We have to say, oh, this is the right direction. I can do that, okay? And then I will not be around, of course, but the world progressively, it will change in a better place. It's the sum of all the action that can lead us to not the big thing. It's the sum of all the action, the contribution. That's what it is.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mike.
I think it's everything
I
there.
think I'll give you a hug.
It's very long.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll do a lot of editing.